Something is finally moving and institutions are coming into the DeFi ecosystem. This is something that is happening right now, guys. I know that not many people are talking about it, but I will show you exactly what is happening and which are the projects that are moving into this direction. And as you will see also in a moment, a couple of them are also small caps. So it means small projects are just moving their first steps. Some of them are already having a big history on their behind, but the reality is that this is the moment that will change the DeFi history. Because the reality is that it doesn't matter if you like institutions or not. But if we want to see the DeFi ecosystem growing, what we need is more money flowing into this space. And the only way to do that is making this space available, a place where institutions want to put their money into. And I will explain to you exactly what is happening just in a moment. Let me say this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's fine, but do always your research before. And guys, don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up, drop a comment in the comment section below, and check out all our links into the description below, where you can find our Twitter account, weekly newsletter, our Instagram, TikTok, and we are starting to work more to give you more content soon. Okay guys, so let's start immediately. I want to start with this image. I know that it's not so updated because the reality is that DeFi, it doesn't have 240 billion. It has much less than this number. We are about 40 billion according to the moment and so on. But it gives us an idea on how small is still the DeFi market compared to the TradFi market. As you can see, the TradFi is more than 100 trillion. And this number could be bigger or lower according to how you want to calculate. If you take the whole derivative markets and so on, it could be much bigger than a quadrillion and so on. So the space from where we are right now to where we could be is like more than 1,000 different. So it means that we can go 1,000 higher than where we are right now and probably even more. And this is something that is insane if you think about it, because even right now we are still talking about, okay, that project is great, is growing, I made 10x and so on. But imagine what can happen if the DeFi ecosystem is for real able to go from this, so around less than 100 billion to more than 100 trillion dollars. So the growth could be insane. But we need a trigger, and this trigger is institutional adoption. It means big fund, big banks, big corporations that are starting to use the DeFi ecosystem. And finally, something is moving. Before showing you exactly what is happening and also a couple of projects that are going into this direction, I want to say another thing, is that in order to see institution coming in and pushing more into this topic, what we need also is a regulation. So it is something that we should look in favor. I know that many people are saying, okay guys, we don't want to see regulators coming in because that's something that will refrain the innovation. Yes, I understand. I understand also that we want to keep the DeFi space genuine. But what we have to understand is what we really want. We really want just having a small niche where nobody is in, where there are no money, nobody is using it for real, or we want to have something that could really reach that kind of mass adoption. If we want to reach that level, we will need more money coming in. And to see more money coming in, we need to create some kind of environment for this money to flow into this space. From one side, we need technology, and that's something that is happening right now, and I will show you in a moment. On the other side, what we need is governments and so on that are starting to build some kind of structure from the laws, rules, and so on, that is giving some kind of security to the different institutions. So because they have to feel safe, they can't just bet. If a private can say, okay guys, maybe I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I have enough money, I can bet on this protocol, maybe it can grow and so on. I'm seeing this kind of yield is pretty good, maybe I can earn some money. You can do as a private, but a big fund can't risk its own money, money of people from their retirement fund and so on. They can't risk that money into a place where there are no guarantee, there is no certainty. So that's the reason why we need also a step forward from the point of view of the regulators. Okay, said so, let's start talking about DeFi protocols and institutional adoption. Well, the first case, it is also the biggest one, is MakerDAO that is keep pushing into this direction. It is closing different partnerships and so on. Different banks that are having access to credit and using MakerDAO, or better the Oasis app, just to go into this direction. And probably you have also noticed that the price of MakerDAO in the last couple of days has been performing pretty well. And the point is exactly this one. The whole story about institutional adoption, this is something that can become a big driver for the next bull run. Okay, so MakerDAO is one of the first, but what are the other projects that are moving steps into this topic? And most of all, which is the kind of technology that will attract institutions? And this technology is called tokenization. This is something that it is happening right now. I want to talk about Domani Finance, Swarm.com, and DeFactor. All of them are small caps. So we are talking about, for example, here we have DeFactor that has less than 24 million. We have Swarm Market that has a circulating supply around 5 million. Or even less, Domani protocol that has around 7-8 million, and so on. So we are talking all about projects that are having a circulating supply that is below 10 million and a fully diluted valuation that is below 50 million. So just to give you an idea, going from where they are right now, reaching 1 billion fully diluted valuation, it could mean something like 20x in terms of fully diluted valuation for all of them. That's quite a decent one. I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm just saying that we are seeing an overall DeFi market is still so small. And if, and only if, this kind of big jump will happen, well, in this case, all these small protocols will start to see a big pump into the price. Not to mention, this is something that is already happening. Domani Finance just made 10x in the last month. When it comes to Swarm.com, they just made a 5x in the last couple of days. DeFactor on the other side has this chart here that we can even see it. As you can see, it has made another big 10x in the last 30 days. So as you can see, the topic is cool. But why it's cool? Well, everything started, at least in my opinion, aside from MakerDAO, with Domani Finance, Domani protocol that was announcing that Deutsche Bank were finally partnering with them in order to start exploring different solutions to start using tokenization, because everything is about tokenization. As you will see, all of these projects are about tokenizing assets and make them available into the blockchain. In the case of Domani Finance, the way it is working is pretty simple. What they are offering is the possibility to create a tokenized portfolio, and the process is quite straightforward. You can choose, you can create a fund, and you can provide liquidity investing in a certain portfolio. If you want to see more, you can just click on here and you will have the opportunity to go into different kind of portfolios with their composition, the index price, and the performance in the last couple of days, and so on. But the most powerful thing, aside from the tech itself, is really seeing big partners like the announcement that you can see here into my screen on Twitter. Domani Finance just announced that they are working with Deutsche Bank. And this is the big step forward, because finally we are seeing banks, and Deutsche Bank is not a small bank, it's a big bank that is saying, okay guys, it's true, blockchain can create value. Blockchain is not anymore just about speculation. This is something that could have a future, and I want to be in. This is the big revolution that is happening right now. And also because you have to remind, right now it happened to Deutsche Bank, but the reality is that different banks are talking one to the other one. So it means at a certain point, another big bank will come in just because Deutsche Bank is moving steps into this direction. And this is a big change for the DeFi ecosystem, and we need to see more of it. Said so about Domani Finance, there is another protocol that I have been following since its inception, literally from the ICO, and it is swarm.com. The reason why I'm sharing this protocol today is because they have finally released something that is quite cool. And what they are offering is the possibility to tokenize stocks. And differently from what we can see, for example, on synthetics, the stocks offered by swarm.com are real stocks. So in the moment when you buy this stock, you are not only having the stock itself, but you will also receive the dividends. And these dividends will be paid on a separated smart contract. And that's pretty cool if you think about it, because the whole point is that creating different ways to integrate the TradFi system into the DeFi ecosystem. Imagine to have the opportunity to use your Apple stock that is collecting dividends as a collateral to access to credit. Wow, that's amazing. We are not yet at this point, but this is a first step. At the same time, they are also offering bond ETF, that is treasury bonds. And also this is something that is quite interesting because you can have exposure to something that is in somehow more secure. At least this is the general consideration of bonds, but at the same time, keep building strategies into the DeFi space. When it comes to swarm.com, we are talking about a fully regulated, at least in Europe, platform. It is a protocol, a DeFi protocol that is requiring KYC. I know that it could be like crazy. What? Are you asking me to have a KYC just to use your protocol? Yes, I know, it sounds bad, but it is much better than what you can think, because in a moment when more regulations will come, having this kind of a security level, this is something that is a big step forward. Because remember, the big difference between using a centralized exchange and a decentralized one is not just about privacy. It is about owning your assets. If a centralized exchange can take you out at any moment, a decentralized one, it is much more difficult because you are still having full access to your funds and you don't have to ask for an authorization. It's completely permissionless. So this is a big step forward, even if you need to have a KYC to use the different services. Obviously, if you want to just buy the token, you can go simply to Uniswap or QuickSwap and just buy the token. They also just launched an incentive program for the March month for 1 million tokens. That is around, in this moment, 50K, 70K, 100K, according to which is the price of the token. So feel free to check it out. I will leave also all the links into the description below. Finally, there is another project that is called DeFactor. I'm just giving you an overview about these three. The reality is that there are many others that are moving their steps into the market. I'm showing them for the simple reason that Domani Protocol just shared this news that is amazing with Deutsche Bank. Swarm.com, because they released this, that is something that we never seen, having the opportunity to have real stocks into the DeFi space. And DeFactor, because it is a project that is attracting and is receiving a lot of attention in the last couple of weeks. I want to add also another thing. In the moment when we are talking about these three protocols, we are not talking about projects that just born right now. We are talking about projects that have at least from 1 to 3 years of experience and work behind the scene. And this is something that's pretty important because in the moment when you want to choose a project, always check, but it is something that is just there for speculation or not. Because obviously, if a product has been through the whole bear market, just keep developing something, well, it means that they are at least trying to do something that is valuable. It doesn't mean that they will succeed, but it's at least a step forward. In the moment when we come to DeFactor, it means tokenizing real world asset. And here you can find all the information and so on. The project is still in an early phase, but this is something that will become bigger. I don't know if you heard about, but just the other day in the United States, there has been the first sale of a home using a tokenized asset. So as you can see, finally, we are starting to see what we were all dreaming about for the last couple of years. Finally, this is a reality. And what I want to ask to you is, do you know other projects that are going to this direction, that are trying to push and closing partnerships with big players into the market. Because the more of these partnerships we will see, the more the whole DeFi ecosystem will grow. And don't forget that this is the goal. DeFi is not about fighting for a market share. Oh my God, I'm having more users than you right now. The goal of DeFi is going from this small niche to becoming something that is comparable to what is actually the TradFi ecosystem. So it means going at least 100x, 1000x higher in terms of money managed by this kind of platforms. So let me know what is your favorite project among the 3 that I have been presenting to you today. And if I'm missing anything, just write me into the comment section below. Guys, thank you for following me. Don't forget to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment. This is something that will help also this video for the algorithm of YouTube. Thank you for following me and see you soon. Bye guys.